final resettlement in the United States. As Soviet immigrants come here in search of a new life, correspondent Richard Schlesinger reports a disturbing number of them are finding that life in crime.
In the shadow of this country's vibrant and growing Soviet emigre community, mixed in among some of America's newest immigrants are some of America's newest criminals, sophisticated, organized, and violent.
We're talking about hundreds of people who have immigrated here who are now involved in organized criminal activities. This is a group, this is a ring, this is a gang. Pretty soon it'll be an army.
Bootleg gasoline was the Soviet mobsters' ticket to the big time. Teaming up with the Mafia, they took advantage of a weakness in the tax laws and sold gasoline without paying any tax. It was their most lucrative scheme.
It was nearly $150 million or more that was stolen by this combined group in 1 year.
In their race to make money, Soviet mobsters often print their own. All the money you're looking at, $1.4 million worth, is counterfeit.
They don't just print $100,000, they'll print 20 million.
Most of the Soviet mobs got organized here in the heavily Soviet neighborhood of Brighton Beach in Brooklyn. They are not as organized as the Italian Mafia yet. Still, they've been able to extend their influence far beyond the borders of Brooklyn.
You will generally find Soviet emigres in New York City, Miami, Los Angeles in the United States. You will find them in Toronto, Canada.
Hold up the overhead door there and I'll back the truck in and we'll get started.
Police say the Soviets are expert con men. The man in the white shirt is a Soviet emigre named Mark Gorelick. He's taking a delivery of luggage. He and another Soviet ran a scam telling businessmen they were running sales promotions. They were so convincing that major companies agreed to deliver almost $200 million in furs, luggage, and other items before being paid.
These items wouldn't have lasted more than a few hours on the street. That's how quickly they would have been sold.
It never got that far. In this case, the delivery men are undercover police officers.
We have additional bad news for you. We're not truckers. We're not with the furniture business or the luggage business. We're police officers, and you're under arrest.
Police say the Soviet gangsters don't fear American justice.
Okay?
Even if they get caught, it's minor in comparison what they would get in Russia.
This Soviet emigre has dealt with the mobs and doesn't want to be identified.
When it comes to business, they're ready to go to war.
There have already been casualties in that war. A leader of one Soviet mob was shot dead in his Rolls-Royce after he became a government informant.
This organized crime element, Russian immigrants, they kill anybody. I think they're far more dangerous than organized crime as we know it.
100,000 Soviets are expected to apply for U.S. visas next year. The overwhelming majority are honest. But there is no way for American authorities to know who is looking to benefit from our system and who is looking to exploit it. Richard Schlesinger, CBS News.